We're back in Way of the Hunter on Nez Perce Valley. I'm OCG. Today we are doing a realistic hunt in a sort. We're going over the patch for the newest update for Way of the Hunter. Now, this comes with several things, hit or miss. One, right off the bat, I don't like. If you go into a menu and come back, we are in Ranger mode. Look at my HUD. I don't like it. It goes away after a time, but it ruins the immersion, right? Like, I have this thing down at the bottom left, toggle objectives. Tap again. There you go. I've got the compass at the top. I've got my wind direction, all that stuff. Don't want it. I don't want it. Now, what should happen, in my opinion, is this should be off permanently if I select off. Everything should be off. Now, there should be a third option where it's temporary, which is doing what it does now, where it does this thing right here. I hope that gets a fix at some point. I don't know if it will. This is still early access to the update, so it might have already been fixed. I don't know. You guys will see this update on the 10th. That's when you have access to it. Anyway, other thing. Right here. We're on 3 out of the 3. So when I sleep, in theory, this should go to 1. It depends on how long you have played in the game. I've tested this several times, and it seems to be correct. Third thing. These markers. Yes, this is where we're talking about some good stuff here. For me, doesn't matter too much. I mean, yes, I can see these right here. I'll go over these icons in just a minute. Obviously, the crown means private, which means it's got the highest genetic potential. So it starts right there at the 50% mark. You will never find a low fitness here in Diamond Drill. I think this is the same for every private land. Right now, I've only got whitetail selected, so it's not going to be in all these, right? So this is stable, 11% to 100%. Some of these are going to be red. This one's decent, 28 to 90%. I don't know if I have any red ones. There you go, negative 1% genetics on that one. So, what's happening here? From my understanding, and from what the game is telling me, is the 50% to 100% is the genetic range of this area, and the higher the bars are, closer to whatever area it is, let's say it's closer to 100% right now, then you're going to see more animals in that range. So right now, we're probably, if I'm going by bars of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 or so, we're sitting at about 80 to 85% genetics. Now, this is true, because if you look in my encyclopedia here, and we are under animals and fitness potential, if you scroll down to the bottom here, it says 80 to 100% with that icon right there, which is the icon we have. So, I think that's the situation we're in right now. So if you look through here, this is going to be huge for you. If you see this one, you need to do some work on your genetics. This one right here is golden. Now, it also affects right here. Let's see, where's it at? When you harvest an animal, you don't only affect its group. Once an in-game year passes, you influence all the groups that represent the species and belong to the same habitat. So, if I take something from down here, I'm affecting all 4 of these guys. All 4 of them. Which is nuts. Absolutely nuts. I don't know if this has always been a thing. I've never paid attention to it. You had no way to really determine that, I don't think. Now we do. You can tell by the genetics here, they're all the same. So if I take one from here and it drops it, then it's going to drop all of them. Now, I don't know how that exactly works, because does that mean when a new one spawns on these guys that it's going to be lower? Or does it affect the ones that have already spawned? I doubt it affects the ones that already spawned. My guess is if I kill one over here and this one's still low, then it's going to drop again. And it's going to spawn a new low guy. I say low. It's not a low fitness, because you can't have low fitnesses in Diamond Drill. But it's going to be like a bad genetic deer. You understand what I'm saying? So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to keep an eye on this herd. I'm going to see if I can go down there and they're there. I don't know yet. I tried earlier and they weren't there. So what's going to happen, I'm going to sleep here. In theory, we should tick over to a 1 on that little calendar up there after I sleep to 11:57. Actually, let's do 10:57. Because 11's a drink time. And we should hit tab here, and it's a 1. So that means the cycle is ticked over. My genetics have dropped. So somebody died. Somebody died. All right, they're not here. I like them being here because it's a quick and easy travel. That's the only reason I like them being here, and it's really easy for, like, testing things. Sadly, they're not here, so I'm gonna have to go all the way down there and try to find them without spooking anything else along the way, because if I spook something along the way, there's a chance it causes a chain reaction, which is why I hate going down this direction to test things. So we're gonna see if we can make it down there. If not, we're just gonna keep resetting the time, which might affect our genetics and therefore our science. I say science like I'm a scientist going into details on how this is actually working. I'm just going over what I think is happening, and by the way, this is not going to be a typical realistic hunt, and if you don't want to watch, that's fine. It's just it's more of a me messing around with the mechanics of the new update, and we'll see how things affect things. So we'll be taking a female, for example, see if that affects the numbers. We'll take a high fitness. I say high fitness. They're all high fitness here. We're going to be taking a really big boy, if we could find one, and see how that affects our genetics. We'll be taking some lopsided ones to see how that affects the genetics, etc., etc. So that's the plan for today. We'll see if that can actually happen. All right, we have eyes, boys. We have eyes. Not quite sure what we have yet, but I'm going to slowly work my way down into there, see if I can get some eyes on what we have. And if we have any lopsided, that will be my first choice. The second choice, if we have some big boys, and then I will... no, I won't take the big boys, but if we have them there, then that's the reason I'm going to take the second choice, which would be a female. So if we have big boys, the female's next. If we don't have big boys, then we will probably just reset the time and wait for things to grow and see how things progress. That's the idea there, but hopefully we have some lopsided guys or some guys that just don't look that great, and we'll decide to take them out first. All right, we're starting to get some eyes here. Take a closer look at him, see if we got any lopsided boys. Does not look lopsided to me. I've only seen him so far, though. Maybe. By the way, if you see right there on the left of my scope, it now shows my zeroing, which I have noticed earlier that I don't know how long this has happened, but I had it at 109. So if you ever wondered why I was off just a smidge on my shots, or if I was too high, etc., or too low, then yeah, that was probably why, because I'm typically zeroed for 164, and I wasn't. So that was a thing. What's going to happen here is I'm just going to sit here and wait to see all these guys, and then we'll make a decision on what we should do. Yeah, I spotted a lopsided one. It was actually the one we were looking at first, I do believe. Oh, it might have been the second one. Well, he's lopsided too. So there's two in there that are really good to take. At least potentially. I would like to get a better look at them all. They're not really in a great location to really determine which one I should be taking here. I know it was one of the decent-sized ones. It was hard to tell, but I think I might take the smallest one if I can find him again. Not quite sure where he ran off to be honest. Ah, it's you, isn't it? You're the lopsided one. You can tell right here. That side versus this side. So, night-night. Got him! Alright, so we'll see how that affects the number for all of the herds here. In theory, it should increase it. Unless something small spawns, then it should decrease it. But we'll see. I'm going to pick this guy up, and then we'll probably go back to reset the time. Because I want to keep an eye on just this herd. That's the only herd I want to focus on. That way we can make sure how make sure this is the only herd that is going through this cycle, you know? Does that make any sense? It's hard to explain. I want to limit how many I'm taking, so I want just this herd to be affected. Maybe that makes more sense. But I do believe that this guy was lopsided. He definitely is. So yeah, he wasn't going to make it. He's like 70%, maybe. Yeah, 70%. I like having this. This is handy. I can tell before it even happens. So, obviously, just to sell. We're going to go reset the time and come back out. All right, so we're back onto a new cycle. Looks like we're stable now, so that's decent. That means we have at least either the same genetics that just spawned or slightly higher. But we're trying to make that into the plus section. Definitely trying to get that into the plus section. So what we're going to do is go down here and check them out and see if they're here. And if they are, we'll see if we can take out some more lopsided guys and see how that affects the number. Until we get all the lopsided guys out, I do not want to take anything else. So once all those are out, we could take we can either take a big boy or we could take a doe. That's the plan there. But first we want to take out all the lopsided boys. I was really hoping they'd swap zones, but yet again, they're not here. So I have to go all the way back down to their spot again and try again. Now, my wind apparently is not that great, if you can tell here by the purple. I hate looking at it, and I hate seeing these, by the way. But they're there. It's going to be difficult, because I need to come in from up here, because if I come in from... I might be able to come in over this side. It's a little rough getting over here, because you might spook something down here, and it might cause the chain reaction to happen. I think my best option is to come in from this side, so that's what I'm going to try to do. We're pretty much going the same route we took last time we were over here, so hopefully it works for us. Interested to see if we have another lopsided guy, which I do believe we did, and he was a smaller one. I'm going to see if we can find them. If so, he's definitely going night-night. I think that might be him. Yes, I do believe that is him. Of course, he's in a really bad spot. So that's the one I want to take. He's obviously a really tiny one, and he's probably lopsided from what I saw last time we were here. I'd like to get confirmation before I just pull the trigger, but we'll see. I've seen a couple of big boys back in there. They're really hard to see right now because they're just stuck in the woods. But they're going to be pretty nice. That's not the one I want. You are, I'm pretty sure. Man, I'd like to get confirmation, so I'm just going to sit here and wait for him to pop his head up. And then I can decide if I want to take that shot. By the way, let me know if you would like to see me do herd management. Would you like me to do this kind of stuff where I'm going through a specific herd every single day and working on its genetics and then moving over to a next one, you know, that kind of stuff? Ooh, you're lopsided too. You might actually be good to take too. I think I might actually take you. As I know for a fact, you were definitely lopsided. Just let me know down in the comments if that's something you would like to see. Maybe we could make that Wednesday's episodes instead of story-based videos, which we haven't done in a while because I haven't really had any ideas for one. I could make, you know, like my normal I tell ones. I like doing those. But I feel like they get kind of repetitive, so I'm kind of holding off for a bit. This guy was definitely lopsided. Definitely lopsided. Looks like he's going to be about 70%, somewhere around there. 71. Adult, 2-star, very good to take. Definitely lopsided, so that should help out a little bit. We're obviously going to go reset the time and see how that affects our number. And bam, just like that, that has affected all 4 herds. They are now in the 80 percentile range and above. Fantastic. That is good news. That's really good news. So, what we could do, since we know this one's now semi-pretty good, we could move over to here or here and try to increase this even more. Right? Because these two could be keeping these 2 guys down, or this guy could be keeping this guy down, that guy could be keeping that guy down, or that guy, you know, that's how it kind of works, I guess. So there could be some lopsided guys over here that are lowering the genetics. Same with over here. Or even here, because I know there's still one left in there that I do believe we could try to take. So I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to work my way down. It's only 10:44, so we still got a little bit of time. For some reason, my wind just keeps going this way. Actually, it looks like it's going this way based on those. But I'm going to go in there, and we're going to see if they're there this time. If not, we're going to go all the way back down to there and check them out. Because, again, I want to focus just on this herd. At least for now, I want to focus on just this herd because I want to keep track of what's happening with the numbers. Man, 2 cycles in, and they're still at their other spot. And wonder if it's like 3 or 4 cycles or something like that. I'm sure somebody knows, but we're going to find out because we're going to keep doing it until they get over here. And I know why they weren't showing up beforehand is because we got here too early, right? It was 10:40 something. They were probably still working their way in. And that was probably the case, and I just didn't pay attention to it. But they are definitely here, I'm pretty sure. I think. Maybe. Possibly. I did see some mule deer, but I couldn't quite tell if there were any whitetail in there. I think there are. It seems... Yeah, there's one right there. Okay, so there's definitely whitetail in that mule deer herd, which is funny. But they're sharing, so it's fine. We're going to get over there and see if we got any lopsided boys. If we don't, we're going to take a female and see how that affects the number. It looks like since the last time we saw them, they've gotten quite a bit bigger. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. They're getting a little old, though, so I don't know if they're going to make it to a 5-star, but they're looking pretty good. This is the herd we took out the 499 in, so I'm hoping we've got some decent genetics still here. Haven't quite seen anything else just quite yet in terms of what I should be taking. You look normal. You are not normal. You're going night-night. Again, lopsided boys only right now until we get those guys out. Then we'll focus on taking out a female, maybe 1 or 2, seeing how that affects the number, and then we'll move over to the big boys. Right now, that guy had to go. He was lopsided. All right, so let's see what you got, buddy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, way lopsided. Looks like to be about 70% or so. 61, not too bad. Just to sell, though. All right, reset the time again. Reset, we are back on a new cycle. It looks like we've gone down a little bit, so we are stable now. Which I don't know if that's good or bad. I would assume bad, because we were with the 80% or above, so maybe something that has spawned here has lowered it, or somebody has died that was keeping the genetics up. One of those possibilities. What I'm going to do is go down here and check on these guys again. I'm going to wait just a little bit longer, though, this time. All right, back at it. Not much is going on right now. Can't see hardly anything. That guy's pretty big. He's going to be pretty big, I think. He's not, like, crazy old yet. He's not white, where his face is solid white, so he's not to the point where we have to take him. So I'm going to see what else we got here. If nothing small... Ooh, you don't see a thing. It ain't nothing but a chicken wing, all right? So if we don't see anything small, we'll be taking a female. And see how that affects our number, which, by the way, is still at stable. Which it should be, because that's the last time we checked it. What are you, buddy? Ooh, you got a chance to be lopsided. Stop looking at me. It's rude to stare. Oh, come on now. I wanted you to look at me after you passed it. Okay, you're not lopsided. What about the other guy right behind him? Move, tree, you're in my way. That's the guy I want to look at. I need to see. Wait, where'd he go? I don't see him anymore. Definitely see mule deer. Pretty nice ones, actually. That's going to be a big boy. Wowza. He is going to be absolutely massive. Move, tree, in my way. All right. I'm going to stay here for... Wait. I think he's lopsided. I do believe so. Move, trees, you're in my way! I'm taking him. I do believe that was a kill shot. If you couldn't tell. Alright. I do believe that guy was lopsided. We'll find out. If he wasn't, then, well, that kind of sucks. But it definitely looked, it looked lopsided. I think one of, that right side, my right, his left, kind of looked a little bit longer than the other one, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe it really wasn't. But I think he was. We'll find out. Nope. He was not lopsided, so we shouldn't have taken him. But it is what it is. 90%. Yep. You tell by that right there. 90%. He had a chance and we ruined it, so... It is what it is. We'll see how that affects our number. It's probably going to go down pretty significantly there. But we're going to go reset the time, and then... I'm probably going to reset the time twice, so what I'm going to do is reset it. We're going to see what the number is, and then I'm going to sit here for a little bit. Actually, I kind of want to go check on that big boy, because he might have aged at that point. Nice, this time they're actually here. Thank goodness. Saves me a lot of time. It's like they're getting pretty big, boys. He's still there. That's not the one I was talking about, but he's still here. Right there. He's looking pretty good. Then you get that boy. She's a little interesting. Kind of different. We're going to get closer, see what we have. I do want to check this out, see how we're doing. So we're still stable, even after taking out that one that was 90%. So that's pretty good. That means we've got decent genetics still. And the one that took his place was still pretty good, or at least even better. Could be better. Who knows? Well, I figured if he'd be better, the stable would be now plus 1% or more. But we're going to see if we have any lopsideds. Again, if we do not, we're going to see if that guy is old enough to take. And if not, then we're going to take a doe and see how that affects the number. As it stands right now, I do not see a lopsided. I don't even see another male that might have taken his place, unless that's one. No, he's too big. I didn't see him, though, so we're going to check him out if he gives me a chance to actually look at his rack. If not, I'm probably going to take one of these young females. And we'll see how that affects the number. I'm assuming it won't. But it might. It might. But you never know. So you gotta try, right? We do have some mule deer here, by the way. They don't look like they're crazy, though. I think this guy's not lopsided. I think he's gonna be good. Wow. That was a while back. Interesting. That was a way while back. Okay. Yeah, he's not lopsided. Okay, so I'm going to take this female right here. And we're going to see what that does to our genetic pool, if anything. Now, I do believe if you take females, you reduce the number of animals in the herd. So this could affect us a little bit, which therefore it could affect the potential of our herd genetics. So it might have an effect, it might not. We're going to find out though. There she be. Obviously just a doe. Nothing special there. Just a cell. Okay, let's go back, reset the time one more time. Time has been reset. Don't really know why, but taking the female has seemed to increase it by +3. It's a little interesting. Now, there could be some other factors, like obviously we don't know what happened in these other 3 herds, right? But it makes no sense, because if a older guy would have died, unless it's an older guy that was lopsided. If he was an old guy that was lopsided and died, then yes, that would have increased our genetic pool. But we're getting closer to that 100% mark right now. We're in the probably 90% mark right now in terms of genetics, which is huge. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go down there and check on this guy one more time. Possibly 2 more times, we'll see. I got a feeling he's insanely old right now. So we might end up taking him. It is 11 o'clock on the dot almost, just past it. So they should be down here. If not, then they're obviously down at their other spot, which hate walking that distance. Good to see they are still here. This is really good to see, so we'll see if the big boy's there. Right now, I don't see him. Might be hiding behind some trees. There's too many trees in this forest. Can't see the whitetail through the trees. Okay. Not looking too good, is it? Looks like both of them have died. So that's interesting. Why would our genetics go up? Unless they were not going to be very good. Maybe they were in the low percentages. But they were pretty big for being low percentages. So maybe now we have a higher chance of getting some actual big boys, because we are sitting around the 90 percentile mark. Now, obviously, I want to take a look at these guys and clean up anything in terms of lopsidedness. Still kind of interesting that I see the blood there, both of them. I thought they made that so they disappeared. Maybe it's just a bug. I have no idea. This update's obviously subject to change before it actually releases, so that could just be a bug and then it's fixed by now. Who knows? Let's take a look here. Anything interesting? In terms of lopsidedness, so far it's just a bunch of females. You do not look lopsided to me. Wait a minute, you are lopsided. You only have 2 on one side and 3 on the other. You might be a taker here. I don't know, though. I can't quite tell. I hate when they look at that angle, because I can't see certain tines. They just kind of blend in with each other. I like when they look directly at me. When they look directly at me, I can see them. And then I can really make that decision, but right now, they just don't want to. You're good. There's another mill. Hi, how you doing? Now, there's a good chance there could be more up there. Maybe we just sit here and wait for a bit and see what happens here. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm just going to sit and wait. I say that, but I'm pretty sure this guy right here, not this one, the one right behind him, is lopsided. This guy right there, I do believe he is lopsided. So if I can get a better angle on him, I can actually check that. Yep, he is definitely lopsided. We have 2 lopsideds that are at least 1, and possibly the second one. Couldn't quite tell. This guy is 100%. I would like to see what else is back there before I decide to make this decision, but I think we're just going to take it if he turns just a smidge to the right. Or do that. There. I was trying to hit the heart, but I think he dropped right when I shot, and it just didn't work. But I was trying to aim for that Texas heart shot where he's like down but up at the same time. That would have been interesting. So, that put a lot of hunting pressure, I'm sure, in this area, so I doubt they'll be here next time. But now we've got somewhat of an understanding of how this thing works. Again, I'm not sure if the doe that we took had an effect on it or not, because it drastically changed when we took her out. But that also could just be what I mentioned earlier, where we had these 2 guys possibly being lower genetics than what should be, and they were keeping the herd down. So that could be what happened, because they are gone now. They're dead. They're not here anymore. Did he just die right there? No, I don't know what I saw there. This guy's definitely lopsided. Possibly a 70%er. 71. He would not have made it to a 5, obviously. So, adjust to sell. So, maybe that'll help our herd just a bit more. So, I think what I'm going to do is go back and reset the time one more time, and then check on that number again. See if it goes up even further. Because right now, again, we're sitting across that board around 90%, somewhere around there. So that's huge. If we can get it even higher, that would be nutty. Moment of truth to just reset. Let's find out. Okay, we're still good, but we're -2. We are still above the 80 percentile, but we're definitely lost some there, which is interesting. Could just mean that, again, somebody has died. That's the hard part, right? So what I'm going to do is go back down there, see what has happened to that herd, and see what we want to do next. All right, let's see what we got here. So far, just a bunch of mulers. He's definitely lopsided. It's an interesting looking whitetail. Got really big tines there. What is he? Man. I don't think there's anything worth taking right now. Yep. I do not see a single thing worth taking. in terms of whitetail right now. At least in this herd, so what we're going to do is call it an episode there. We've learned a lot. Still a lot left to learn, so if you guys have any ideas of what we could check out next, let me know, or if you have any ideas on how this stuff works, let me know as well. Leave it down below in the comments, but hopefully that helped you guys just a little bit. I kind of tried to go through everything that I could think of in terms of what I could test. In terms of getting this number to move. It's kind of hard to determine because so many different variables could be happening, right? Like, these guys could die and it changes everything. These guys could die, it changes everything, etc. So it's really tough. But we tried to narrow it down to at least one herd, and that was the herd we focused on, and hopefully that gave some kind of idea of what's happening here. I hope. If you want to see more videos like this one, check out these videos right here. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please head down, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. I like to hear from you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. And as always, have a fantastic day. OCG out.